I'm Chef Luis Cortez, the owner of Saber and Gather Personal Chef Services. And today I'm going to do my take on Nashville hot chicken. But I'm going to do it with a little creative twist as I usually do. And I'm going to put them inside of a wonton wrapper. I'm going to make something called a purse or what they call money bags. So I basically take the wrapper, I had a towel over them so they don't dry up. I stuff them with that hot chicken that we're going to cook in a minute. And then we make a little ball in the bottom and we make sure that they stay kind of stand up on themselves. And I give it a little twist, but I'm going to show you in a second. So we have our chicken. It's already seasoned. I'm using chicken thighs because the chicken thighs tend to stay juicier. Chicken breasts, they're good. Chicken breast is great, but they tend to dry out when you're doing something like this because this you're gonna cook the chicken first. You're gonna shred it. I'm gonna shred it in my machine, in my food processor, and then I'm gonna cook it again because I'm gonna fry it inside the wonton. So we're cooking it twice. So with a chicken breast, if you cook it twice, you tend to lose it. It get dry. You don't want that. So I tend to use chicken thighs for this kind of thing. And then I got some garlic, some sofrito, some onions for that too. And then we're gonna have that. We're gonna accompany that with a blue cheese dressing. I'm gonna make my own blue cheese dressing here. So right here I have some mayonnaise. I have some blue cheese crumbled. Some This is buttermilk, and I have some Worcestershire sauce and a little bit of hot sauce and some lemon juice. I'm going to add a little bit of olive oil there, some salt and pepper. So that's going to be my blue cheese sauce, fresh. Everything's going to be homemade. So let's get started with our chicken. So I'm just going to grease up the pan a little bit. And throw that in there and let that start cooking. So this is going to be hot chicken. So I have a habanero pepper and a serrano. So I'm going to take these and take the seeds out of them, cut them open, take the seeds out of them because the seeds is where you have the really high intensity of the spice in it. So we don't want it. We want the flavor and a little bit of that spice. We want to bring it down a little, but we want to take out the seeds because you can leave the seeds in there, but it'll just be extremely spicy, which that's not a bad thing. But to me, it tends to be a little too much, and you lose the essence of the flavors, the other flavors. Because at least my opinion is when things tend to be just overwhelmingly spicy, then you can't taste anything else because you just kill or put to sleep, numb your taste buds. So, but obviously, that's my opinion. Everyone else thinks differently. Everybody else has their own flavor profile. So if you like it extremely spicy, then hey, that's your preference. But I tend to keep it mellow because I can give a wide variety, a range of people. The people that like a little bit of spice, they can eat it, and the people that like a lot of spice, they can add some hot sauce or whatever to it too. If you have one or two seeds that fall into it, that's fine. It's not a big deal. But main thing is you don't want them all in there because it'll be really spicy. So, like I said, my opinion, you can do it as the way you feel like it, as hot as you like it. So we're gonna chop this up a little bit. It doesn't really matter how you cut it because of the fact that it's gonna get all processed in the food processor. So you give it a little rough chop here. Trying to get a little few extra of those seeds out of there. But like I said, a few are in. That's fine. But you don't want a lot of them. At least for this recipe. And the chicken, I already seasoned it with some smoked paprika, some salt and pepper, some coriander, garlic powder, onion powder, just a touch of cayenne to elevate a little bit because we're doing hot chicken. But very mellow because I want to keep the intensity not as high as probably someone that loves super spicy food. But like I said, you can always add on to that if you really like the intensity of the spice. So when you do for a group of people, you like to keep it kind of an average spice, a mellow spice. So like that, a wide variety of people can eat from that. So right now I'm gonna add my garlic, onions, and my sofrito. So I have it on a medium heat. And let me bring it up to a medium high to basically cook everything off. And the one thing we're gonna do, this is chicken, so we want to make sure it's fully cooked, 100% cooked. So with this, what we're gonna do with the wonton, I'm gonna wet it a little so that it becomes a little more flexible when you wet it. And we're gonna put our filling, my stuffing in there. And so this should take about 10 to 12 minutes cooking the chicken. It shouldn't be that long. Obviously, you need to have it thawed out. So let's start with our blue cheese dressing. So I have about a cup of blue cheese crumbled and about a quarter cup of buttermilk, about 2 tablespoons of mayonnaise. It's about half a teaspoon of Worcestershire sauce and about the same of some hot sauce of your preference, and just a little bit of lemon juice and some salt and pepper. So stir this up a little bit. Wow, it smells good. Okay, let me bring that down a little bit because I don't want it to burn. And a little bit of my olive oil. So we're mixing our blue cheese dressing, and it's fresh, simple as that. You got a few ingredients, put them all together, and you have a blue cheese dressing here. See? There's nothing like making your own dressing. A little more acid. So I'm thinking my chicken is done. Shut that off. So I'm gonna add my peppers, and we're gonna let that cook off. Just for a couple minutes. You don't really need to cook it for too long. Just 2 minutes, just to soften them up and get the flavors out of them. And then we're gonna process them, and we're gonna cook it again inside the oil, fry it. So right now I'm heating up my oil, and I got my chicken with my peppers in my food processor. What we're gonna do is we're gonna pulse it, push it down a little. Right now is where we taste it. Need some salt. has some good spice to it, some good kick to it. So you don't want to add any pepper to it, but it has good flavor. That's good now. Okay. My chicken is chopped up. It's good. It has some good spice to it. What we're going to do is put this in a bowl and now start filling our wontons. So I got my oil heating up. Lower that a little bit. Whoops. Okay. I'm going to take all four corners and just push them together and try to create a little bag like that. So it's probably like a little older type of purses. There's still a lot of purses that are made that way, but it's not a common purse nowadays. But that's what they call it, little purses. That's the way, or money bags. Because years and years ago, those were the type of bags that the banks used to transport money. There we go. So go four corners, and then push it in so the top can open up a little bit. I try to let the top open up a little bit. And you can round them off a little bit when you put them in the oil. Right now, let them cool down in the fridge for about an hour, and then I would do that. I would fry them after they cool down a little bit because the wontons tend to be a little, when they're warm, they tend to be a little brittle, when they're not cooked. So it has a nice spice to it. It's not too spicy. Look, this one broke on me. That's what happens sometimes. It has a nice spice. The flavors of the serrano and the habanero come out. And since I took out the seeds, it's not an overwhelming spice. It's a very nice spice, and you can savor the flavors of those two peppers. It's very nice. But if I was to leave them in, it would be probably on another level of a spice of extreme that you would not be able to probably taste anything. It would just numb your palate. So you have some pieces that are ground up and some pieces of the peppers that are still whole. And that's nice because you can see it when you would bite into it, you would be able to see. So I say about a pound of chicken would give you, for pretty much, I would say about 25 of these. And that's enough for a good amount of guests. You can probably serve about, 6, 7, maybe. You might be able to get a little more. Maybe 30. And then what would you do is you would take these, and in the end, what you can do, you can take it and make it look a little prettier. You take a little bit of a green onion, whether it be a chive or a scallion. You just blanch it. You cook it for 10 seconds in the hot water. You let it cool down. And then you wrap them around the top here. I didn't have any green onions now. I forgot to get that. And you wrap them around here, and it gives it a nice little elegant touch. So we just shape them a little bit. Throw them in. So it's always good when you are, let's say you're prepping and you have these wontons outside. It'd be nice for you to have like a wet paper towel over them so they don't dry out. Just make sure they get golden brown. Just want to brown them. You don't want them overcook them. You can cook it in the oil of your choice. I'm cooking it in coconut oil. It's going to give it a little bit of a sweet, more flavor, and that sweetness is going to help with bringing down a little bit of that spice, just a little bit. And I think that's what you want. You want it present, but you don't want it overwhelming. So right now, the only thing we're doing here is we're cooking the wonton because the chicken and everything inside there is cooked. If you want to take a little spin on it, because since we're serving it with blue cheese, you can serve it with whatever you like. But we're serving it with blue cheese. I think it goes well with blue cheese. But because this is a spicy chicken, it's kind of like a hot wing, more or less. Not the same, but close to it. But you can take this and you can do a different spin on it and serve it with a different sauce. It's all about what you want. Hey, this one broke. So you might get one or two that may open up on you, but that's fine. But like I said, if you wanted to, you can get some green onions and wrap each one with the green onion. You just got to blanch it a little bit so it's a little more flexible and it's not as brittle. And you just wrap each one and it'll give it a nice little elegant touch. But here we go. Here goes my spin on the Nashville hot chicken, money bags or purse. So this is with the blue cheese, homemade blue cheese. So this is my spin on the Nashville hot chicken in an appetizer. You can take it as a wing or whatever you like, but it's different. Tell me what you think. If you like it, what else do you want to see? Tell me what you like. My name is Luis Cortez, owner of Savor and Gather Personal Chef Services. Let me know. Please share and like. And till next time.